Okay, scholars, we're going to do a lab now on sink and float. You just did a discussion question and we looked at the different pieces. So we realize, okay, so get out your STEM journal. So remember the scientists, science tools, matter, mass, lab balance, properties of matter, changes in matter, song, magnetism, magnetism, volume, volume. Here we are, lab, sink or float. So we found out some interesting things. We had the copper, silver, and clear one that ended up sinking, but then we had the wooden and the white one float. And even then, like where they were was very interesting. So the definition of sink, and I know it's not where you wash your hands. It means for an object to drop below the surface level of a liquid. And then we have if something floats, it's to stay on the surface of a liquid. So you want to look at the volume and mass to determine if it will sink or float. A huge emphasis is on the mass, because if you feel like there's a lot of stuff inside, its possibility of sinking is higher. So let's write down a couple of objects. We're going to do a sink or float prediction. And we're going to do a sink or float result. So this is prediction. And this is the result. So the first object is the plastic Easter egg. So here it is. I want you to write down your prediction, and all you got to write is S or F. You don't even have to like write out the whole word. So I'm just going to write my prediction. I think it's going to sink. Okay. We'll do the results later. The next thing is a plastic spoon. Write down sink or float. I think it's going to float. I'm not going to do any more after that. Okay. I have a metal spoon. So think about this. They both have about the same volume, right? They're about the same size, but then the mass is different. So keep that in mind. Write your prediction. Next is a slinky. This is my friend. Predict. Candle. And when I say candle, like this is all there is. This is all there is. Okay. And then a rock. Okay. So you've written your predictions. I'm going to press pause, or I'm going to just press pause if you need to still catch up. And then this side, I'm going to do the results. So I'm going to start doing this. If you're not caught up, you need to get caught up. Just press pause. Okay. All right. So here we are, ready to test. Oh gosh, this is like, okay. Here we go. So Easter egg, plastic egg, floats. I knew it was going to float, but I had to throw you guys off. Plastic spoon. Oh, this is going to actually be hard because the cup is too small. But, oh, interesting. Oh, it's it's hanging out. Okay. All right. Metal spoon. Oh, well, that was kind of obvious. Mr. Slinky. Interesting. Candle. And The Rock. Not the celebrity. Although he might sink as well. Who knows? Okay. All right. So that is just a little activity for you to see. Sinking and floating. Lots of things to think about. When there's pockets of air, like this one, there's a big pocket of air. It has a chance of floating. But if the particles are more tightly packed, it has a chance of sinking. Now, I don't want you to confuse this that, okay, let me just draw a picture. So if it has very tightly packed particles, there is a high chance of sinking. I'm not saying it will always sink. So I don't want you to think, oh, this looks like a solid, so all solids will sink. No, 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 no. I'm talking about the particles inside the object, right? This is a solid. This thing is made of a solid. Plastic is a solid. The particles are tightly packed in this plastic, but inside the plastic, it's air. It's a pocket of air. And so there's not tightly packed particles. Therefore, it's going to float. So keep in mind, it's what's inside. If it's extremely tightly packed, you've got a better chance of it sinking. But also what really helps is if you're able to hold it, figure out the mass, and just do some comparisons. All that makes a difference. But go ahead and try and ask an adult, a parent in the house, and see if some of your things sink or float that you want to test out. And message me on Canvas. I would love to see what you tested. It would be cool.